Alright. It is time for I Cast Your Freaking Awesome Replays, and we are going to be casting the 1-2 Punch Challenge. Down here in the bottom right-hand side, it is in the red, it's Omamorki. Playing, of course, under his Smurf, Karl-Heinz Hinley Prince or something like that, which is Karl-Heinz. We might just call him Omamorki. You, of course, know Morky. I'm Terran. He's like, oh, Mez, does that mean thank you? There's no need to tell. He's like, dude, you didn't need to tell me your race. So it looks like his opponent up here was playing random and is telling race. In the top left, it is Lotka Volterra, who unfortunately is not building SCVs. There we go. Oh gosh. Missing 2 SCVs in this early game, I believe. Bit of a rough start, man. So I have a feeling this may be the sort of game where we don't see an orbital start straight away. Let's see. I mean, 18th SCV will be out in time. Actually, maybe it's only about maybe only 1 SCV behind. I think about 1 SCV behind, right? It's like maybe half an SCV behind where it should be. It's not as bad as I thought. This drone's going to come across the map. Guys, remember, there is a new challenge, as always. We're trying to get back on schedule and cast this every day. If we get exclamation mark Icyfar activated in command. The challenge coming up is 1-man army. Intimidate your opponent with individual units wherever possible. I'm talking about overly aggressive worker harass, a single marine running up, touching the enemy natural, going tag, and then running away. Maybe a random ravager rocks up, biles the third base, and then just like and waddles away. I don't fucking know. Maybe you morph a broodlord behind each mineral line. And you're like, yeah, take that. There's a lot of different things you can do. Now, this guy here, not really the sort of intimidating 1-man army drone, but definitely the sort of drone who is setting up for the future. With the look at that, he's queued it up. He's queued it to mine, return the minerals, go all the way home, go back across the map, and then open up this path. And, of course, opening up that path for the 1-2 punch, definitely something he's going to be preparing for. So, yeah, guys, get your replays in. I mean, you guys can do 1,000 different things with the 1-man army. Maybe you have just an Archon in a warp prism that you keep alive for ages. Maybe you go super out there, Colossus drop, right? Maybe you have a Thor drop. You go that one Thor, you just keep picking it up, dropping it. Maybe you get a siege tank or a cyclone, put it in a medevac, and then you have 4 SCVs on auto repair in the medevac, and you repair it after you drop it each time. So they're like, is this unit invincible? Every time it drops, it picks back up, drops again, and it's on full hit points again, just like magic. So lots of cool shit you guys can do, and it should be amazing. Hypno Butler says, what's the challenge for this one? I've only seen the next one explained. I just explained exactly what this one is. I just explained 2 different challenges. Okay. That's all right, Twitch chat. You guys can listen better. We are casting. We are casting the 1-2 punch challenge, guys. I mean, I feel like 1-2 punch is pretty self-explanatory. You hit in one place and then you hit in another. It's one of the most classic challenge ideas. Really simple because there's so many things you can do with this. You can just pull them in one way, attack in another place. Basically, the most basic one is attack 2 places at once. My favorite though is when your army kind of intimidates them, pulls their army out of position, doesn't really commit, and then the backstab slides in. Whether it be banelings into a mineral line or something else, always is nice. That Reaper, staying on the other side of the map way too long, does get his face kicked in. We got 3rd CC. Hellions building a 2nd barracks coming down here. Stim is starting, so it looks like Volterra is just going to be going like Hellions, and then I imagine we're going to see a double engineering bay and like big old Terran macro. I was shitting on Volterra's play earlier. The macro actually looks really good from here. So I take back everything. Double depot starting on 40, making sure supply blocks will be avoided. Hellion's going to come across this map. We've still got a drone here. Who, what the hell? Oh, because the previous one got caught by the Reaper. Apparently it didn't finish that mineral patch off, so he sent another one over as Morky. And oh god, all those Hellions. Dive, Volterra. Okay, Volterra's not watching there. Does get 1 Hellion heavily wounded. And if that Hellion goes down, that's a shame. Still can one-shot drones. Takes 3 Hellion shots. But oh, one of them shoots the Queen. Oh man, keeps misclicking there. Wasn't quite target firing them correctly. And they did end up wasting shots on the Queen. They bruise a few drones Florencio style. They kind of go, hey, you're wounded. Now you can regenerate. And if you do, of course, subscribe to Florencio's School of Thought, regenerating units, any hit point they regenerate is basically free damage you're doing. Those Hellions go back and are like, why is there a drone returning minerals across the map? What the fudge? Do we have any units at home? Oh my god, he stopped building Hellions. He stopped building Hellions! No! Oh my god, he's got one Marine right now. Luckily for him, Omamorki is like kind of assuming there's actual defense there. No, he's like, oh, I might as well have a poke around. And is quickly realizing the opponent has both, you know, dived in with a couple Hellions, dove into the Zerg base, and at the same time did not do too much. These Zerglings do pick off the gas SCVs. A tank and a few Marines come down, so not too bad. Thankfully, only 5 Zerglings to take advantage of that. But yeah, if you're relying on those, just a couple Hellions keeping you safe, you've got to be very careful with those. Back up in the main base, double eBay is done, though, of course, the distraction means there was a big delay on that 1-1 starting up. But up to 4 barracks and trying to continue here with the macro. Volterra still got a very good macro machine up against Morky, who is mining out his own back path as well as long distance mining this ever so slowly. Yeah, his macro is falling behind right now, guys. He's not injecting properly. And his main doesn't even have a queen. So he's spending all of his APM just trying to like mine minerals down on the map. A couple of Lings come in and just get wrecked by those Marines. Volterra's looking good, but does need to finish this wall off. Kind of did some panic depots in the back of the base. And that means this wall off's not ready. Now, as Volterra, you know this is open. The question is, do you know this is open, right? A lot of players, they kind of counterattacks come in from an angle and they go, ah. And then they just leave it undefended. As it is right now, Volterra, it's got some Marines on the way. Has only got 4 barracks production though. Desperately needs more Marines and tanks out here. It's starting to get the production going. The medevacs, all that sort of stuff. Stim's done. Shields is on the way. Some Lings, some Banes here coming across. 50 SCVs to 52 drones. And it does seem like it's the economic advantage for Volterra. But lots of minerals banked up for Omamorki here. +1 flyer attack starts up. Hitting a huge supply block on 90. And what do we got? Drilly Claws. Okay, Drilling Claws in a second factory. Looks like it's going to be a transition into Widow Mines against this Mutalist play. Not a bad idea. Sees that it's Ling Bane Muta. And look at that. Yeah, Lings and Banes deflected at the front. But Lings and Banes on the third. Once again, as I said, Volterra, you gotta watch out, man. Oh my god, look at that. Okay, so he comes in, Baneling goes in first, doesn't want to pull the trigger and give the attack warning until the Baneling hits the mineral line, is going to take out a whole bunch of these SCVs. Volterra, not reacting right now, the army's just sitting there, man. Oh god. And that's about 5 or 6 SCVs going down there. Moves up. Just need a couple depots here. So he's realized, okay, you've mined me wall down, you cheeky bastard. A couple of Lings are gonna run in. Oh no, the siege tank. Oh my god, is he actually gonna get a tank? There he is. He gets a siege tank. The Marines have all just decided to pick up and run across the map, guys. He's like, I could lock my door. Okay, he's gonna lock this door, but he's not locking that door yet. And this third's still wide open. He's just flying straight across the map. Absolute YOLO maneuver here. Volterra's like, F you, man. It's time to bring the hurt to your side of the map. It's a lot of Marines. They do have stim shields and 1-1 upgrades, but that macro kind of halting behind this, and it seems like Omamorki now does have that economic lead. He's got Bane speed as well, remember. Volterra here doing the classic 90% of the APM into dropping your entire army on Ling Bane. Okay, no, get out of there, get out of there. Leave. No, that's been mined down. Get out of there, dude. Get out of there. Okay, Volterra has just not macroed in a while. There we go. Marines, tanks, and medevacs start up. SCVs start up as well, which is nice. Mules are dropping. Oh, the 2-2 upgrades, though. That was meant to be his advantage this game, was that big 2-2 timing. Doesn't quite have it. Is locking the door down, though, preparing for more of those 1-2 punches from Morky. And, yeah, 10 mutas on the way. We've got Burrow on the way as well. It's going to be a bit of a cheeky boy. This drone here is like, oh, you're going to mine that off? Well, if I open this and this, it'll still be open. So, Morky just slowly opening this up one little bit at a time. Banelings, of course, also able to crash through that. He's just going to be careful. Those Banelings are going to go south. If he just clicks them there, They're going to try and run around the other way, but I think he's microing them in here. Mutas are going on the left-hand side. These drilly boys not going to have a good time. Those depots go down, and we've got the 1-2 punch in action once again. The Lingbane comes in on the third. Volterra is so well prepared for this. Oh, but the Baneling, he didn't stim. He didn't stim. He should have had enough firepower to just A-move that, but he doesn't stim. Loses all the Marines to the Banelings. The Mutas come in at the same time. Volterra is going to lose a siege tank as well. Oh, the Mutas. Oh my god, Omamorki with a bit of miscontrol. Oh my god, Volterra just shoots his own depot down in frustration. And he does have 2-2 on the way, guys. He's got +1 vehicle weapons. If he can just get those missile turrets up, lock down the doors, I really feel like Volterra is in a great macro position, but Morky not giving him a moment's rest, setting up the mutas. He's got more Lingbane on the way. You can tell Morky here struggling to spend his money. He needs like 4 macro hatcheries right now. Hasn't really been injecting. He's been a bit busy hitting from the left, the right, the north, the south, the east, and the west. The mutas come in. Every missile turret stopped just before it finished building. And there's a missile turret up there. Super random missile turret. Just hanging out here. This is like the if you run past my mutas, my turrets with your mutas that are zoning out the edge of the map, haha, we'll have another turret there and there. Well, so he's built like an extra round. I mean, it's more important to have turrets down here right now. So this kind of worries me because once again, no wall off there, no siege tanks sieged, and no turrets on this side. So open to more and more of these attacks. And we've got Burrow, we've got pathogen glands and infestors on the way. Pathogen glands, of course, is going to finish after those infestors, but it'll be good for any future infestors that come out. We've got a good pack of Lingbane. Volterra still has more stuff right now, but it's been very slow to rebuild that worker count, down to just 40 SCVs versus 63 drones. And even with 2-2 finishing now, you can feel the Terran player feeling a little bit claustrophobic, like he's packed into his corner of the map right now. Still no missile turrets on that base does worry me. As that's the soft spot. What do we got in this army, though? That's like going to be 4 Thors in a second. 2 Thors just popped out. That's 4 Thors, 50 Marines, 3 tanks, 6 medevacs. That's a pretty fearsome army. Unfortunately, his army does split around the terrain a little bit here. I'd love to see him just open up these rocks. Of course, he knows this 4th base has been taken on the south, but there's actually a 5th here as well. So Morky set up to kind of defend both sides of the map at once. Can always abandon one of those if he has to. There are some really lovely tank positions here. Down here as well, attacking down that ramp, very awkward for the Zerg player. They're often forced to try and counterattack across the map instead. Volterra's taking a 5th command center, but as we can see here, is kind of freezing up on that production now as we haven't rebuilt that SCV count. So putting all the money into Thors and command centers, but the Marine count has not continued to grow. Those mutas going to come in, pick off individual Marines. Omamorki being as annoying as possible. Going to slow down the command center. Oh god, Volterra. Oh my god, he's A-moving on creep. He's A-moving on creep. Oh god, it's the classic. You attack the Terran from behind, and it just pulls the trigger for them to just walk onto creep. No fucks given. No fucks given. Where's the... oh my god. The Banelings. The Banelings. The Marines are trapped in a corner. The Banelings aren't quite going on them. A fungal lands. A lot of the Marines actually made it to safety there. A bit of a haphazard attack there from Omamorki. He dove in without organizing his army ahead of time. A lot of his Banelings kind of crashed into the choke point, into the tanks and the Thors, and he does end up losing the hatch, loses a ton of workers and his mutas and corruptors. That actually worked out very well. Volterra there going for the let's just fucking cram our Marines in the corner and hope, and thankfully about 20 of those Marines did survive the initial trade. More Lings come out though and clean up the siege tanks, so is a bit of a reset for both sides. These Marines, not big fans of perverts. They do take down those overseers. Units biologically engineered and designed by Abatha to have like 12 eyes so they can watch every orifice at once. I mean, what? Orifice? Oh, that's weird. Marines gonna dive in here. Absolute YOLO attack from Volterra though. There's Banelings ready. Oh, no, 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 no. They try to run, they try to spread, but he is not Marine King. Yeah, the Baneling's gonna take out all those Marines. Not enough Lings to deal with the Thor, sorry. And that Thor's coming in. We've got Broodlords morphing. 11 more drones are building. Banelings and Lings crashing into that. A lot more army supply for Volterra right now, who I feel like, you know, if we just have non-stop Marine Thor production, that's probably gonna do pretty well, right? We've got +2 vehicle weapons on the way. There is only +1 flyer attack, so the Thors should do okay versus any Broodlords. And, you know, actually, are you serious? Is that There's just nothing to fight it. That Thor's gonna kill a hatchery. Oh my god. This boss of a Thor kills it. The Broodling Revenge. They actually take out the Thor. No, 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 no. I like how the Banelings kind of took their time circling those Marines, no doubt shouting insults as they did it. By the way, guys, what? There's a Broodlord there. Infested Terrans in the mineral line. It's a 1-2 punch harassment. A Broodlord morphs behind his base and starts sieging his Marines. Meanwhile, infested Terrans land on the left-hand side and gun down all of the workers. Omomorki, you disgusting piece of shit. This could be like a one-man army challenge as well. This Broodlord up here is like, come and fight me, dickhead. It's like intimidating the shit out of his opponent. How angry are you gonna be as Volterra right now? I'd be mad, man. He's doing some nice micro. He's like, yeah, I'll pick off your engineering bays. Let's go. Nothing like the famous Broodlord behind the mineral line tech. For those who don't know, Steven, player in Masters League, we did cast him once trying to make a one-base Broodlord rush, where he tried to morph a Broodlord behind all three of the Protoss mineral lines at once, off one base. Well, he had a natural up by that point, but no drones on it. It was like 6 minutes and like a Broodlord finish behind every single one of the opponent's mineral lines. We were like, what the fuck am I looking at right now? Some of the silliest shit I've ever seen, but kind of fantastic at the same time. Uh-oh, Revenge of the Thor here. Oh no! Oh, that's a dead brood mama. And another one. Oh god, nice little Thor drop there move from Volterra. One Zergling in the mineral line says, get fucked, get fucked, get fucked. Yeah. He's just got his sharpened little toothbrush. He's in the prison yard running around, just stabbing everybody. And unfortunately, the prison guards, they're like 3 people died. We should probably go over there. Probably. They finally do clean that up. Zerglings coming in again on 2 sides, trying to break down the right and the left at the same time. In the mineral line, the Marines do stand strong. They will manage to hold on and barely survive. But at the same time, he's F2'd all the Marines away from the 3rd base. Volterra is like, very few units in position. This Thor's going to come down and try to defend this, but it cannot move through that mineral line. And a lot of SCVs going down. Volterra is just going for the panic A move again here. Not locking down the defense. We've got 3,000 minerals in the bank. The Volterra, oh no. Oh, you're not going to lose that. No. No, 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 no. The 3rd base just died to a ling number. It's like 12 lings. Oh my god, the Marines are just like YOLOing in. Volterra is actually doing massive damage with these Marine attacks, which have no business achieving anything. Okay, this one, not so much. The Banelings finish morphing this time, and they are going to go down. Those Marines on this side get cleaned up, though. Infested Terrans coming back in. Volterra, oh man, I feel like just being able to hold down the Marine key would be the absolute answer to this game. If Volterra could just keep dropping mules, building Marines, you know, you'd be all right. Oh, the Hellbat's going to do a good job this time. Finally, we've got units in position. Oh, they don't have Blue Flame or any upgrades, actually, and those are 3/3 Adrenal Zerglings. Never mind me, guys. These Zerglings do so much damage. That is actually disgusting. The amount of damage these Lings do, yeah, each one is just insane. They're like an ant. They can lift 10 times their weight. That is absolutely crazy. And yeah, the 1-2 punches work out, man. Oh, that's rough for Volterra. Yeah, would have loved to see these bases walled off and a bit more methodical progression there, but it was kind of funny because he was doing big damage with those Marine dives, but Omomorki too good with the constant 1-2 punches. Lings in one side, Banes in the other. Lings in one side, Mutas in the other. Constantly bouncing around and unable to deal with it. GG's. Nice game. Good shit, Morky. Thank you, as always. Big fan, of course, of the Icyfar show. He actually sponsored a whole bunch of Icyfars at the start of this year with his novel, Liquid Rain, which was cool. And he's always, he's submitted some of the famous Icyfar games. The elevate Banelings into the main base and then burrow them in the mineral line. Watch the opponent's brain break as they A-move their units onto the Banelings. All the Hellions run into the mineral line where the Banelings have burrowed, so all the SCVs and the Hellions are clumped in the mineral line, and then he detonates them, takes out every Hellion and every worker. The time as well where the Cue It Up Baby challenge, the other one, which I always mention because he was so creative with the way he used queued up commands. So he didn't even have to micro his swarm hosts, and he just had them queued up to throw different locust waves from different angles for about 10 minutes straight. And it was just anytime you selected them, you could just see zigzagged waypoints of all the move commands and throwing locust commands they had queued up across the map. It was amazing. That's the sort of creative weird shit we get to see whenever Omamorki throws a game in.